his fraternity brother Chad to come forward. Apparently with the other fraternity brothers.
Alrighty, my name is Chad Ledy, and these are a bunch of the brothers of Dave and SAE, as well as a lot of representatives from DU who wanted to come out and show their love and support for Dave, who honestly touched so many people at DU in so many amazing ways. I was going on Facebook yesterday, kind of looking over all the different posts that people were putting, just so many inspired and people who loved Dave so much, and some of the keywords that I found were, one was caring, generous, a bit of a ridiculous person. That was kind of what Dave always said. Am I a ridiculous person? Yes, Dave, you are. Honest, loud, and the easiest person to get to know in about 5 minutes. So, I was pledge brother with Dave, and along with a lot of these other guys. And Dave was obviously super easy to get to know right away, but I really started to get to know Dave sophomore year. A bunch of friends and I were in my room, just talking, hanging out, and Dave picks up my pad, and I like to write down things I'm thinking about, like, you know, different epiphanies I've had, or just quotes that really speak to me. And Dave starts picking it up, and he's getting this look on his face, and he's like, "Do you really think like this?" And I'm just like, and I'm like, I mean, yeah, sometimes, you know. And he's like, he just starts asking me all these questions just about everything. And I'm not kidding you. We talked for 5 hours straight that day, nonstop, just super deep conversation. At that moment, you know, we left there, and he's like, "We're boys now, aren't we? We're boys now." I'm just like, yeah, we are. So, as everyone knows here, Dave had a huge heart, and he also had a pretty huge mouth as well. And he'd always be asking me, "Why is everyone always giving you such a hard time?" You know, I'm like, "Dave, it's because you're so honest. You're brutally honest, and not everyone's always going to be ready for those opinions and everything, you know." But that's honestly something that I admire about Dave more than just about anything. His ability to just say what he really felt and was really on his heart, you know. So after Wilson died, April 12th, Dave and I talked a lot. We talked for the next month straight, just about every single day. I would sit in his room and we would just talk about life and death. What did it all mean? What did Wilson's passing mean? What did it mean for us? How are we supposed to move forward? And honestly, those talks are what get me through today. Because we realized that day, we realized that no one is invincible. And we looked at each other and he said to me, "You know what? Either I'm going to be speaking at your funeral or you're going to be speaking at mine." And he said, "But don't let it be a hindrance to your life. You need to go forward and you need to find strength in it. And you need to let me inspire you to go out and do the things that you want to do and use it as just another piece." And at that time, you know, I'm like, "Oh yeah, of course. And I started to realize, you know, it's easy to say, but it's a lot harder when you actually have to go out and do it. One of the most beautiful things that I learned from Dave, which is honestly, if you're going to remember one thing that I say, it's this. Dave believed that when Wilson died, so, you know, we're talking like, what's the reasoning? What could this mean? And he's like, "You know what? I got it. Like, I figured it out. I know what's the deal." And I'm like, "All right, what's the reason?" He's like, "God was looking around the earth, and he saw a child in Darfur. He saw a woman with cancer. He saw all these people who really needed some heart. They needed some energy. And he saw Wilson, somebody who had lived more in 20 years than most people live in 100, 200 years, you know. And he said, 'You know what, Wilson, we need some of your energy.' Dave said, Wilson has enough energy to support 8 people's lives, easily." And it's so beautiful now, listening to those words, knowing the way that Dave left us. Just knowing that his heart is actually out there supporting life and giving energy to the world. It is still to be felt today and will live on. So, Yesterday I talked to one of my good friends, Steve, and I had a conversation with him, and he really gave me some inspiration. But I went back, and he's like, you know, you've had all these conversations with Dave, like, you know, he's going to be able to be there with you and, you know, be in every part of your life, and you'll be so strong because of it. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. And I go back, and I'm kind of reflecting, and I'm like, yeah, but where is he? Where is he? And I just started breaking down, and I was just like in a ball, and I'm just like, where are you, Dave? I need you. I need you so much right now. I need your help. I can't do this all alone. And honestly, at that moment, I just released. Something came over me. And I sat back, and a huge smile came over my face. And I just started laughing, and I realized it's like, Dave's not going to be sitting right next to me. He's not going to be waiting in my chair when I come home, like, got something I got to tell you. But he's going to be right here. He's going to be right here. And, you know, I'd say I'll miss you, Dave, but I really won't, because I'll have you right here forever.
Good job, Chad.
Oh, that was fabulous. That's just off the top of his head. It's unbelievable.
It's a beautiful tribute in so many ways. Thank you. I'm going to share with you now some words written